Here's a super quick review of inheritance, actually looking at the code. The idea of this demo then is to tell you what changes you would need to make to something from exercise 1 in order to make it more like lab 1, where we start working with inheritance. So here we've got Kevin's payroll class from the last lab. I've modified it a bit. This is in the payroll class. One thing that had to happen was the variables had to be changed to protected. And that's because we want those variables to be able to be inherited and accessed by the inheriting class, but we don't want it to be accessed from the presentation level. So we don't want friend. Protected is good for the variables. We didn't make changes to the constructor besides removing the method to calculate pay. The actual finding pay method, which again you could use whatever name you want, but it does have to be the same between the piecework and senior piecework class, should be protected friend so that it can be inherited and accessed from the presentation level. It also has to be declared as overridable. The property procedures, protected friend is ideal for all of these. Protected friend, again, means that it can be inherited and accessed from the inheriting class, but it is also, these property procedures are going to be used by the presentation level. So protected friend is ideal for every property procedure, including the read-only ones, including the shared ones as well. So it ends up being a bit of a mouthful. Protected friend, shared, read-only property, and it does in fact have to be that way. That's all the changes really that had to be made to the basic piecework class. Going to the senior piecework class, or in my case, senior payroll. The lab requirements are pretty specific about the parameterized constructor for the inheriting class should call the base class's default constructor. So yours should look almost exactly like this, except for, of course, the variable names. This is a different class than what you're working with. So it should be calling myBaseNew and then setting the two variables. In this case, you will want to use mybase.hours and mybase.rate. As long as the properties are inherited, other things may work, but this will work fine and looks good, honestly. The empty constructor stays empty. The findPay method, again, we want protected friend because the access level has to be the same between the base class and the inheriting class. So we need protected friend, and we also want to say overrides. And again, these should have the same name as the piecework class. The property procedures are all going to be inherited, so all that's really going to be in this inheriting class is the new pay calculation method that's overriding and has the same access levels, and the new constructor. If everything's done properly, that should work. You shouldn't have any warnings, and you'll be good to go going forward.